After getting the golden claw, I find myself at Riverside, resting and enjoying the peace of Skyrim. I find myself heading into town towards the Sleeping Giant Inn, where I would get intel about further missions I could go on today.
Some of the Jarls.
Just before I left Riverwood, I was handed a bounty of a man who I would have to soon hunt and kill, where I would hopefully get great rewards.
Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter.
However, the Jarl of Whiterun had been waiting on me for quite some time, so before I took care of any bounty, I had to go first to visit the Jarl. On the way to Whiterun, I saw some houses on the outside of town, but unfortunately they were all locked, so I didn't want to get myself into any trouble. Just on the outskirts of Whiterun, I found a bandit camp. With my thirst for blood greater than a vampire at a vegan buffet, I felt the need to go and slaughter every man inside. And that would include entering a cave too.
Who's there? Rodolph? That you? Boss was looking for you, said he'd be up at the summit. Better not keep him waiting.
After taking advantage of a blind man, I found myself heading towards where the supposed enemies are, to go plunder and to go kill. With a man shooting me with an ice beam that's chillier than the wind that follows you home when no one else does, I knew I had to dispatch of them, which I did with ease. While looting, arrows penetrated my skin like unpaid bills, piling up fast and making my future look real uncertain, so I knew I had to get rid of this archer. The fucking arrows in my back, but there I am, you don't see me complaining. And for all that trouble, I was able to learn how to craft potions at an alchemy table, but ultimately the greatest reward was being able to pull a basket over the blind man's head. Blind bastard. Approaching Whiterun, I find a chance to barter for a horse, which, to be honest, let's be real, I had to do it because I felt like I was rich at this point. Oh, I have loads of gold. I bought my horse and I galloped up to the gates of Whiterun, where the guards weren't too impressed to see me as they had recognised me from my criminal past. However, I had message for the Jarl that I knew would let me go free.
Fine, but we'll be keeping an eye on you.
As I am let through the city gates, I find myself meeting a whole bunch more people, wanted to talk to everyone. I made the most of my adventure in the place. Talking to people also gave me quests, like this woman. She wanted me to go deliver a sword to her father. And with me obliging, I would continue to go through the city, explore, talk to more people, and even gain another quest that would come back to in the future. I would then enter Dragon's Reach, where I could finally talk to the Jarl and drop off the sword of the father of the woman that I saw earlier. Within the Grand Hall, the architecture was wonderful, so I knew that it was a place of great importance. A different species of creature named Irilith, who was protecting the Jarl, approached me to see why I was in this great hall. Once I had let her know, she let me go ahead and warn the Jarl of what had happened.
Irilith was right.
The Jarl wants us to go and find Farengar. However, I first wanted to give the father his sword. However, upon arrival and talking to Farengar, it turned out I already had what he needed.
I did a thing!
You already found it. You are cut from a different cloth than the usual brutes the Jarl foists on me.
Irilith comes, finds us, and says we should go and follow her to go and talk to the Jarl since something seemingly has happened. I was sent with Irilith and an army to go investigate a watchtower which had been destroyed by a dragon that was sighted. Upon investigating the ruins, I am greeted with a warning from a survivor.
Get back. It's still here somewhere.
And then I heard the mighty roar. With me not being so great at archery, I decided that I was going to have to fight it whenever it landed. And within one short moment, I found myself ever so happy to have accidentally created a fire-resistant potion. Having drank the potion, I started smacking the dragon, draining it as much health as possible. However, it wasn't a lot. And with it landed one more time, as an army, we took it down together and slayed the mighty beast, where I would then find out new secrets of my own.
I can't believe it. You're Dragonborn. The very oldest tales, back from when there were still dragons in Skyrim. The Dragonborn would slay dragons and steal their power.
After feeling totally badass after that very moment, I felt the need and I felt the urge to go kill, to go and explore, and I found the perfect camp to go and do so. I entered a jail housed in the castle, took out the first guard, and when I went downstairs, I was met with someone else who bloody shoots fire. However, with courage, I was able to defeat them, along with their friend. I would continue to fight through this fortress, one battle at a time, and I would defeat many a foe, but there would be one who ultimately put on a bigger fight than anyone else. I continued on my adventure to go and take on this bounty for the Jarl, so that I could return with him with not only one bit of great news, but two. I took down a man who owned a staff of frostbite, a staff that, honestly, I had no idea what I was going to do with. I entered a hideout of the bounty, slaying any foe that gets in the way between me and him. However, when it came to facing him, that's when my ultimate challenge really started to begin. Being the Dragonborn, I knew that I could still do this, and to be honest, when I did defeat him, I have no idea how. Oh. We did a thing? Nevertheless, as confused as I was, we left today a winner. Feeling ever so great, I go to the Great Hall and enter. I go to hand in my bounty and let the Jarl know the good news and receive the highest of praises from him.
I name you Thane of Whiterun. It's the greatest honor that's within my power to grant.
As I leave going to find an alehouse to celebrate, I meet my house call Lydia. And for now, that was all she wrote.